Hello, welcome to this new episode of the Alex Show TV. This episode is from May the 2nd of the year 2025. Today's a Friday. Today's show is going to be a good one. I really like this topic, the observer effect. I want to clarify, you probably have noticed, you have been with me for a while, that on some topics I do have a very minority, a very strange position, and on this one is going to be similar. The observer effect is related, in my humble opinion, is related to what some people claim is the law of attraction. The idea you can modify your situation, you can modify your reality to suit you better, particularly with issues related to money, to prosperity, to success, all by mainstream ideas of this reality I don't subscribe, which success is having a lot of money, a lot of power, to having your financial house in order, to having your health in order. That's what's considered success. Having things, having possessions. Okay, I don't agree with that. And this idea we can kind of tune with the universe, and the reason we are not having that, and some people are air quotes wealthy, air quotes in success, is because they're in tune with the universe, and the reason some of us are not like that is because we are not tuning to this thing that is modifiable. I don't subscribe to any of that. That, as I said it, I was. What am I saying? It's like for me, it's just something like that. The observer effect is something real, and that's where I have a kind of different position. We actually have two support videos to watch. There are two clips from the same video. Let's say like that. It's just that I'm trying to concentrate to 3-minute support videos per clip, so also we can easily translate them with the technology of HeyGen to Spanish, and it could be a show on the Spanish channel, el show de alex.tv. Let's start with the first one. I want to clarify, I don't align a lot with this support video. I think it explains very well the concept of the observer effect. And let's watch it together, and then let me explain my position, which is not the truth, it's not the reality, it's not what you should look for, it's just a position. It's just what resonates in me that the observer effect means, which is a very important thing. It's a very, very key part of our experience, particularly here on planet Earth, but our whole experience, universal experience, on how we're all affected, we're all interconnected, we're all touching each other in a universal way. We're all kind of concentrating, we're all connecting in a universal way. Let's watch it together.
Imagine being able to transform the reality around you just with the power of your gaze, as if, by directing your attention, the world around you would adjust to your consciousness. This is the intriguing promise of the so-called observer effect, a phenomenon that many believe reaches its full potential when the third eye is awakened. But how far can we go with this power to shape reality? Get ready for an eye-opening exploration, where modern science and ancient knowledge come together to reveal the hidden power of human perception. Throughout human history, various spiritual traditions have mentioned the existence of a hidden eye within each of us, a gateway to higher dimensions of consciousness. This eye is known as the third eye, and its activation is believed to be linked to the ability to perceive realities beyond matter, access deep intuition, and even influence one's life experience. But what exactly is the third eye, and why has it been revered by so many different cultures? In Hinduism and Buddhism, the third eye is associated with the sixth chakra, called Ajna, located between the eyebrows, right in the center of the forehead. According to these traditions, this energy center governs intuition, perception beyond physical senses, and connection with higher states of consciousness. It is depicted as a point of wisdom that, when activated, allows one to see the truth hidden behind the illusions of the physical world. In ancient Egypt, the concept of the third eye appears in the symbol of the Eye of Horus, an icon of protection and spiritual perception. For the Egyptians, this eye represented the ability to see beyond the veil of common reality and access divine knowledge. Interestingly, some scholars believe this symbol also bears an anatomical resemblance to the pineal gland, a small structure in the center of the brain that, according to modern research, has light-sensitive properties and may be related to the regulation of consciousness states. But the idea of the third eye isn't limited to just Eastern and Egyptian traditions. In the West, philosophers and mystics throughout the centuries spoke of a mind's eye, a point of higher perception that allowed for a deeper understanding of reality. Descartes, for example, considered the pineal gland the seat of the soul, suggesting that it played a fundamental role in the interaction between the physical and spiritual worlds. Looking at science, we find clues that suggest the third eye might not just be a spiritual metaphor. The pineal gland, located exactly where spiritual traditions place the Ajna chakra, produces melatonin, a hormone that regulates sleep and is closely linked to states of consciousness. Furthermore, some research indicates that this gland may produce dimethyltryptamine, a compound known to generate visionary experiences and altered states of perception. Could the activation of the third eye...
Okay. First of all, I want to clarify on that support video. As you can see, it was more focused on the pineal gland, the third eye. We have talked about that for a while, and not in the modification or the effects that the apparent observer effect has on reality. The explanation of this is that apparently when you observe things and you're the observer, reality reacts to you. Yes, that's the part we agree. Yes, of course. Everything reacts to the everything. You look at the plant, you look at the sea, you look at the mountain, you look at the person, you look at the dog, you look at the lion, you look at the planet, whatever, you look into the sky, everything is reacting. Everything is connecting, okay? That's when I said, I want to say we're in touch with each other. We are connected in a way. And so when we are observed, we are connected. The part I disagree is that you can apparently through this observer effect, if you're able to master it, and I've seen other support videos, which I didn't include on this video, talk about the story, which I've already talked many times, of Jacobo Greenberg, the Mexican doctor, that apparently he was able to master it as to able to modify his reality and leave this world. Totally different thing. I see it. I agree. Jacobo Greenberg left this reality. He mastered himself. He modified himself. He didn't modify reality. He was able to achieve such a high level of control of himself, such a high level of knowledge of himself, the real self of Jacobo Greenberg, that he was able to dematerialize from this reality and go wherever he wanted to go. He was in full control of himself. If we see the observer effect, that apparently, which I don't agree, I'm just saying the mainstream idea of the observer effect, that we're apparently able to modify or this reality is shared among all of us, and not only humans, among animals, among mountains, among lakes, among butterflies, among birds, among fish, among everything, among a piece of dust, a drop of water in the ocean, whatever you want to tell me, it's shared for us. Why should I be able to modify it for all? Some say, no, it's not for all, it's just for you. You modified it so you, for example, can attract $1 million, you can attract prosperity, you can attract, and this, forgive me the word, this very stupid idea. That's the meaning of life. That's the meaning of a universal experience we're having here, which is not, okay? For me, all of those ideas of the law of attraction, the observer effect, that you can modify your reality, going back to money, going back to health, going back to really just you, it's the wrong way to look at it. There is something to it. There are bastardized versions of what's going on. There is attraction, yes. There is observer effect among creation, yes. Everything you observe reacts to you. Hey, I'm here. Hey, we are a bit of creation. You look at the wave, you look at the sea, you look at the bird, you look at whatever you want. Okay? And I'm not saying that you look at it with your eyes, you look at it with your spirit, with yourself. You connect to the rest of creation. Of course, there's an observer effect, but not for your own benefit. What's that? The ego. And yes, I had to say it. The ego. Yes, the ego. Really, the arrogance that we are going to modify reality for our own benefit. Really? How silly that sounds. Honestly, it's depressing and it's embarrassing for the ones that really push that idea of the law of attraction in that way, that you're going to attract things for your own benefit, that you're going to observe things and modify them for your own benefit. You're going to observe things and connect to them, yes. You're going to thrive together, yes, as part of creation. Because we are like, imagine a beautiful painting that is made of dots, yes, pixels. Okay, let's call it like that. You're a pixel, I'm a pixel. A drop of water in the ocean is a pixel, a bird is a pixel, a mountain is a pixel, another star is a pixel, another planet is a pixel. And really, it's not the importance of the size of the pixel, is that we are creation all together, and that's why we react to each other. Not only you react to someone watching you, if you watch something or someone, it's going to react to you as well, because you are a part of reality. It's not to your own benefit. That's the part that gets wrong, that we're able to hack this concept and say, hey, I can modify this reality, let me modify it for my own gain, for my own benefit. That's the part I totally disagree. We have another support video to watch. Let's watch it together so we don't go long on this one. I'm going to give you my final thoughts on this very interesting concept, very real concept, very misconstrued concept of the observer effect.
On the other, spiritual traditions have been claiming for millennia that the mind and spirit directly influence the world around us, but in recent decades something has started to shift. Discoveries in quantum mechanics have begun to reveal that the very act of observing alters reality, a concept that deeply resonates with spiritual teachings about conscious creation. The observer effect, one of the most intriguing phenomena in quantum physics, shows that consciousness plays a fundamental role in how matter behaves. In the famous double-slit experiment, light particles behave differently when observed, suggesting that the simple act of perceiving reality can modify its state. But what does this mean on a deeper level? For many scientists and scholars of spirituality, this discovery points to something revolutionary. Consciousness is not just a passive phenomenon, but an active force that interacts with the universe. This echoes what esoteric traditions have always claimed, that the human mind has the power to influence matter, and that the external world is, to a large extent, a reflection of our internal state. But there's a crucial point to consider. Not everything that's said about quantum physics and spirituality is based on scientific facts. Many concepts have been distorted to fit narratives that don't necessarily align with reality. That's why it's essential to differentiate between what quantum mechanics really suggests and the more mystical interpretations that have been built around it. Philosophers and scientists like Roger Penrose and Stuart Hameroff have developed intriguing theories about how consciousness might emerge from quantum processes within the brain. They suggest that the human mind isn't disconnected from the universe, but is intrinsically tied to its fundamental laws. Their theory of orchestrated objective reduction, OR, posits that consciousness arises from quantum vibrations in the microtubules of brain cells, connecting us directly to the quantum fabric of the cosmos. But the examples don't stop there. Rupert Sheldrake, biologist and author of The Presence of the Past, proposes the theory of morphic fields, which suggests that consciousness and behavior are influenced by fields of information that transcend the individual. This idea echoes ancient spiritual concepts such as Akasha or the Akashic Record, which speak of a universal field of memory and knowledge. Another relevant name is physicist Amit Goswami, who in his book The Self-Aware Universe argues that consciousness is the foundation of all reality, not the other way around. He claims that quantum physics only makes sense if we consider consciousness as fundamental, and that the universe is, in essence.
Okay, so as I said, and I'm a little bit surprised because maybe it was another support video that I watched that kind of pushed this idea we can modify reality to fit our needs through the observer effect. No, it's not the point. Everything is reacting to everything, yes, in a resonance, in a kind of, hey, hello, I'm here, I'm creation as you, okay? So of course, when you see a flower, of course, when you see of course, when you watch a bee, a butterfly, another human being, of course, they're gonna react. Of course, just instinctive. We're part of the same thing. It's like saying, yeah, I'm reacting to your observation. I'm reacting to your consciousness. I'm reacting to to your attention. It makes all the sense in the world. But the part I totally detach from is the part that it goes saying, because it reacts to us and it reacts differently to the observer. Hey, maybe we can hack into this, we can modify this for our own gain. And apparently these masters of consciousness, such as Dr. Jacobo Greenberg, have achieved, which I disagree. I said it many times, I think he achieved a whole different thing. I think he achieved such a high knowledge of himself that he was able to do as he wanted, that was to leave this reality and go to another reality. I don't mean to sound arrogant here, but really basic concepts, okay? He was tired of this reality. He felt this was a prison planet. He felt he was from another place, and he went back to that timeline. He went back to that reality. It's really basic if you think about it, as he was able to achieve control of himself. We're very far from having control of ourselves because we're very far of understanding who we are, and it's just not a 5-minute thing. Dr. Greenberg took years, okay? Years to be able to reach that point. The observer effect is a beautiful thing because for me it's the resonation of creation within itself. It's the connection, is the proof that we have a connection to everything. Is the proof that the summation of all of us is creation. And I'm not talking only humanity. I'm not talking only planet Earth. I'm not talking only the solar system. I'm not talking only the Milky Way. I'm talking the whole universe and all its dimensions and copies and different universes that are probably out there, because certainly there are different levels of universes, plural. And so for me to say it's only the universe, which universe? Many universes. The creation doesn't have any limit. I said it many times. I said it a long while ago, and I don't know why I stopped saying that the universe is infinite in size, in speed, and in time. It has all the time in the world. And the speed we traverse it is infinite. It's not limited to the speed of light. That's the limit for mass particles. That's the limit for particles that have mass. Energetically speaking, we have unlimited speed. So distance, which is also infinite, becomes irrelevant in that equation. As you probably know, speed equals distance between time. Meters per second, kilometers per hour, miles per hour, something like that. Okay? If all three variables are infinite, it's irrelevant how long you have to go, how far you have to go, because you have the infinite towards you. So the observer effect is just a proof of how the universe works, of how creation works. Of course, everything is reacting to everything all the time. Everything is resonating with everything all the time. But it's not resonating for your benefit. That's the part that I say, how could we possibly sell the idea we can hack into this and modify so reality suddenly starts working for us, an individual. So the everything starts working for an individual. It's totally backwards, okay? We are under this impression we're a separate thing. We're part of the everything, and the observer effect is a proof of it. The reason everything reacts to you is because you are connected to the everything. It's because doesn't matter what you observe, it's connected to you. That's why it's gonna react to you. It's like, hey, me is looking at me, and of course I'm gonna react. And what's me? The creation. We're all a little piece of creation, just having this idea, just having this experience, just having this notion that maybe we're having this dream that we're a different thing. So I know this was a little bit cryptic, this was a little bit out there, but I wanted to do this show because it's not that I want to discredit these new age ideas of the law of attraction, the observer effect, that part that, if you don't have things because you feel you don't deserve, and all this, I don't want to say it, not a nice word, BS, okay? This has a beautiful spin to it. If you think about it, when you are walking down the street and you see someone and you are connecting, you are brothers and sisters, you come from the same creation. That's the observer effect. That feeling that everyone is your brother, the feeling that everyone is, brothers and sisters, the gender, okay, but we're all part of the same family, everything with nature, if you really embrace it, with a tree, with a fish. You go into a lake and you feel you're part of all of this. You feel everything is part of you as well. That's the observer effect. And I hope it makes sense now. Have a great day. Have a great weekend. Thank you for watching. Thank you. Have a great day. Thank you for making it to this part of the video. This is my favorite part. This is where I suggest to you that you discover your true self. You are not what you have been groomed to believe. You are this incredible being without limits that has eternal life, amazing strength, infinite wisdom, and a big, beautiful heart. All your limits are always self-imposed. Your best version in this reality is inside you. Your only mission on this life is to become a beacon of love and to serve others. This version is ready to be discovered today. How do you discover your true self? The discovery process is a personal one. No one can do it for you. Dedicate 5 minutes a day to talk to the universe. Simply ask, who am I? Where do I come from? What is my purpose? You will start getting signs, breadcrumbs, and signals. You will notice how your emotions about this reality start disappearing. No more hierarchies, no more competition, no more complaining, no more depending on others. Discovering your true self equals to real freedom. Your self-imposed limits will fall and you will be ready to understand this reality, but you must be patient to allow others to wake up at their time through their own free will. That will be really soon, you will see, and that will set up a new world. As you work towards your best version, you will notice how all emotions don't serve you anymore. Hate, fear, rage, pride, lust, envy, violence, justice through violence, judgment of others, and other emotions will disappear from your mind and heart. You will understand those emotions serve only your egoic mind and are not you. Please try to be understanding of others that don't think or feel like you. Everyone has a process. No one is right or wrong. We're all just different. Don't be concerned about being right, ever. Don't allow pride preventing you from patching things up with family and friends. It is very important you enjoy this life with your loved ones. Put in the work to patch things up and leave it to others to decide. Thank you very much for watching. Please share, like, and subscribe. If you have any comments or suggestions, please use the comment section below. For private questions, conversations, and if you would like to appear on the show, please email me at hey@thealexshow.tv. Thank you again. Please don't forget to visit our website www.thealexshow.tv. By giving me your time, you honor me. Have a very, very, very nice day.